Thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to just try and round up a few things and with not possible, but actual next steps that we're going to be taking forwards as a community. And I very much hope that each and every one of you will be able to participate. I was thrilled by that last session on adaptation. I thought all of the three presentations were thoughtful, considered, almost calls for action to all of us to understand how we all interrelate and work with each other and how we can all play that part in helping CALA, for example, get that single database, get that one place where all the information can be held, get that risk register put together as well that could have all of our inputs, from the Mures Chi project through to the Galson estate in Ness, through to here in Stornoway, the local community council. I know they're very keen on having conversations. So there's an opportunity for everybody to be involved. All of the young people in the schools that participated, and congratulations again on your climate cups. It's terrific to see you getting them. You know, you'll have an opportunity to be able to put your thoughts and your aspirations and your concerns into the whole pot. So we are going to be taking that forward. And the way we're doing that is we've been asked by the Scottish Government to form what they call a regional adaptation partnership. But in the time since they asked us to help support the development of that, we've now had the Cabinet Secretary this morning talk about climate-ready regions. So already the buzzwords are slightly changing, but essentially it's the same thing. It's that collaboration locally to be able to determine what the exact issues are, what are the risks, what are the potential mitigation and adaptation activities that need to be conducted? How do we get the roles of the academics feeding into that, the engineers feeding into that, the members of the public who are crofters, who are small business owners, who are, Climate Hub members? We have nearly 300 Climate Hub members now from across the Outer Hebrides. That's a huge pool of people and organisations. And they're not all single people. Some of them are land trusts, or they are small businesses. And all of those can feed into this process. So it's actually a really exciting opportunity for us in, what Stuart Angus was saying about the academics with the people, with the consultants. And we have some of those people who can act on our behalf. Scottish Adaptation Scotland, who are watching this programme, and hello Eleanor if you're watching right now, they are here to help support us in our work, drawing in information and inspiration from around the rest of Scotland and indeed the world. So we have that opportunity to be able to collaborate with those people. The Climate Hub will have an absolutely central role in that. If any of you in the room haven't yet joined the Climate Hub, and it doesn't matter if you're 5 or 95, you can join. Get a form, they're downstairs in the reception, just fill it in and leave it, or go on to climatehebrides.com and you can join the Climate Hub there. We do things like training. I'm acutely conscious that the days are now gone of saying this training event is on this day in this venue and you have to turn up to that if you want to engage in it. Those days are gone. There's still a role for that, for some in-person days when people can be available for them. But how do I say to a local volunteer firefighter and crofter, you have to turn up on Tuesday morning at 10 o'clock at Dallyborough? That firefighter might be out tackling a wildfire or a flooding incident and actually might want to come back and view an online training module at 12 o'clock at night. And if that's what they want to do, we have to make that available for them. We are now making that available for them. And we'll be getting data and information for the various modules that we're producing around the island chain. And they'll all feature in it. So we will have aspects that are relevant to every community across the islands. We obviously want to have that education element that all the speakers have talked about today. How do we make sure that we can inform people, and people better than me can go out and share those messages and have those training modules online. In fact, our colleagues from We Studio, who are doing the live streaming of this event today, are giving their creative input into how we can get those modules online, making them really interesting and exciting and fantastic for people of all ages and groups and backgrounds to participate in that. So we're doing that. We've talked earlier on about electric vehicles. It's absolutely essential that we electrify the transport in these islands. They're a major emitter. And actually, you know, they're kind of safer as well. Having electric vehicles, people say, oh, they're all on fire. They simply are not. And actually what we need to do is to help improve air quality in some villages. I see it now in Stornoway. I moved to the islands from central London. I was born in Westminster, right in the middle of London. I'm used to a polluted environment. Stornoway is now, the air quality in Stornoway is not as good as it was even a few years ago. And I'm kind of worried that if that's the direction of travel, that things are going to get worse rather than better. So electrification of transport has to be done, and we're going to help with that. For those of you who are interested, we're holding an EV summit online on either the 4th or the 5th of November, and you can contact me directly and find out details about that. But we have people, in fact, I've got another slide that will talk about some of what that means. It's for people like businesses, community landowners, private landowners. So if you own a business and you have your own small plot of land, like a croft, for example, we can help you because the people who are offering funding to put chargers on your land are coming to the conference. Also, NIACS, if ever you go to a vending machine and it's got a yellow box on it where you pop your card against it, that's a NIACS box. They have an electric vehicle charger now that you don't need a thing like the size of Charge Place Scotland to operate it. You as a landowner can operate it because it just connects to your bank account, and somebody who wants to use it can tap on it, it goes to you. If it goes bang, you get the local Sparky to come and fix it. You don't have to wait 3 months for someone to come over on a boat. So these are options that we've established that can be taken up very quickly in the community. It's also for individuals. You know, the cost of EV chargers now is, you know, you're looking at anything around £3,000 when you've got Octopus Energy offering it for £1,000. So we have to be able to get local solutions that can be affordable for people. That will be discussed, and there will be solutions there. SSEN, I'm going to come on to them in a second. They're sponsoring this event, but they have regional funds that are open right now. We are almost certainly going to be applying for a regional fund application that will build the capacity of our region to install and maintain electric vehicle charge points. Now, when we talked about fuel poverty, one of the reasons why people can't afford to heat their homes is because they have to run a car, and it's expensive to run a petrol car. If they could have an affordable electric vehicle tariff on their home where the heating can be charged up if they have storage heaters overnight on the same tariff rate as a car, that would not only be cheaper to drive a vehicle, it would improve the local air quality in the villages. So there's a whole range of things that we can do now, and we're going to take those forwards. So we do want to utilise community benefit funds. We definitely need to increase the charge points that are working. We need to get an increase in trained Sparkies to fix all of these things. We need a community-led maintenance and installation programme. We are going to deliver that. In November, our friends at NHS Western Isles Faith Group, through their chaplaincy, and are basically organising an interfaith week. This is really important. They asked me, it was really funny, one of their colleagues asked me, what is the relationship between religion and climate change? And I said, stewardship. If you have dominion, you have a responsibility to look after your environment, your planet, your community, your fellow people. And so if you are a person of faith, it's in every one of the great books that looking after resources, looking after the planet, looking after, you know, our biodiversity, it's all in there. It may not be written in quite that way, but it's in all of the great works of religion. So we'll be supporting their Faith Week. There'll be a culminating an event on Friday, the 7th of November, and the Climate Hub will be sponsoring that. And so if you hear about that, please go along. Atlanta, you may have seen in local media that Atlanta have had a greenhouse gas audit done here on their actual building and their activities. We sponsored that through the Ideas into Action Fund, but Mueller Consulting delivered it. That report is now helping them in discussions with Creative Carbon Scotland and other funders for developing their work. So there's a tangible, direct flow of us supporting the local group to then enable them to take further action and develop their next stages. And this will help inform the heating system in here. I was talking to Sean Paul earlier, needs to be redeveloped. Which system goes in? What's the most environmentally friendly system? What's the most cost-effective system? These are the discussions that we have to have. I'm announcing today that we can fund up to 5 greenhouse gas audits for community land trusts, community venues, or businesses. But if we fund you, you have to come next year and say what you've done or what you're doing. Okay? So that's the caveat. Caveat emptor, let the buyer beware. I've mentioned Ideas into Action Fund. That fund is still open. Sarah from Boshang, give us a wave. I can't see you. There you are. Lovely Sarah. She applied. She got some funding. She got a piece of equipment that helped her develop her business to the next stage, creating that circular economy capacity. These are exactly the sort of things what the Ideas of Action Fund is there to do. Who am I? What do I want to do? What are the climate impacts? How much am I going to spend and how? All right, and that's one side of A4. You send that in, it gets triaged by the staff team. My directors then make a decision on the funding or not. And then once the form has been completed by you with your bank details, I make the transfer into your account that day. All right, so the funding can come through very quickly. As long as I get the signed thing, you can get that. That closes on the 4th of December, so you haven't got a huge amount of time. But if you've got an idea, talk to me, talk to us. I'm going to be around for the drinks after this. I better hurry up because I'm being told to shut up. So let's go on to the thanks. And then if the music starts and I get pushed off the stage, then I'll know I've spent too long. I should just say, all the things that have been used in this event have been from recycled materials. If you don't wish to keep anything given to you today, leave it on your seats, and I will come round and collect it all, and then it will be recycled again or reused, depending on what it is. I have to now do the roll call of thanks. Firstly, thank you all for those of you who are here and attending in person, and also for those of you who have joined us online today. I hope you've had an enjoyable and interesting day. I've certainly learnt a huge amount, and I certainly never claim to have all the answers, but I think I have a few more ideas now to follow up with colleagues after today. So I've really enjoyed myself. I hope you have too. Thank you for UCVO for generously offering up your offices for members of the public in UIST to be able to come in and join the conference in your accommodation there. I hope it's gone well for you too. Thank you, We Studio, for the magic that you do. I mean, it is magic. Honestly, 200 years ago, they'd have been burning these people. But no, you've done terrific work, and I'm thrilled. Yet again, we've been able to collaborate. So thank you, We Studio, for everything. Zoe McInnes for filming some of the film work that we've used. John Woods, of course, for photography. Gordon Murray for his fluffy balls. For those of you who have picked up one of the fluffy balls, you should have had one in the bag. And I'm not allowed to call them, I'm allowed to call them tweed, but I can't use there we are, tweed orbs. And Intermedia Services for printing our materials on all the recycled paper. UHI Northwestern Hebrides students, catering students for the wonderful cakes and pastries that they produced. It was fantastic. Beckett and Sons for sourcing and providing the local lunch, the lunch that was sourced and provided from local small businesses and food producers. Atlanta, of course, and Sean Paul and your team. I mean, your team have been exemplary, and a real credit to you and the board. David, I think, yeah, there's David there as chair of Atlanta. I mean, it's terrific. The partnership with Atlanta is our second year here. We'll be back again next year, and we'll already be preparing for next year by the time I leave here at 5:30 today. Thank you to all of the chairs of all of the sessions, and for keeping the schedule running smoothly, and for your insight and generosity to us all in the community here. Thank you to all of the speakers who've all presented wonderfully. I mean, it's been fantastic. The quality of the presentations that we've had today are world class, and I thank you all for your participation. The Scottish Government, thank you very much for funding the Outer Hebrides Climate Hub and for funding OH-COP, and in particular, I was just going to say, on that note, for funding the Climate Hub, of which, of course, the First Minister of Scotland, the Right Honourable John Swinney MSP, is a most honourable member of the Outer Hebrides Climate Hub. He's got a certificate to prove it. It's in his office in Butte House. And Louisa Harvey, is from the Community Climate Action Team. She's the team leader there. She's come along today. She's been quietly sitting in the back, making all the notes, hopefully not saying, cut their funding. And, you know, Louisa has been a great friend to the Outer Hebrides Climate Hub. She's been a great friend to me personally and to my team. So thank you, Louisa. Of course, Scottish and Southern Electricity Networks Transmission, thank you for your generous support of our work in general, but particularly in sponsoring today. In effect, that's why we had a lovely lunch, and that's why we've had so many colleagues from Barrow and Uist being able to travel to us, who wouldn't have been able to do so because we wouldn't have had the funds for that. So I absolutely appreciate the sponsorship. We will be coming to tap you for more money. Sorry about that, but there's some advance warning. I have to thank, of course, my conference producer, my communications manager, Kirsty McKinnon-Lees, who did an absolute sterling job pulling this conference together and promptly fell ill, so she couldn't come to it. I'm hoping that she's seeing it now. Don't worry, Kirsty, and we're just about hanging on in there and by tenterhooks, but thank you, Kirsty, for all of the work. I'd like to thank my board and my members, my team, for all of the support and hard work that they do. Finally, go forward. Have discussions on climate change. Talk to your friends, talk to your neighbours, talk to your brothers, talk to your sisters. We've got resources here at Climate Hebrides to be able to help these conversations move forward into the next steps, into action. So let's do that. So this time next year, when we come back, I really want to start hearing what are the results of the actions that we've done over the last year. So that's my gauntlet, thrown down to you now. Go forth, be active, work hard, enjoy yourselves. We live in a beautiful place. Let's make it even more beautiful. Let's collaborate together. Drinks are now available. Fly my beauties. Thank you.